Now, not great news, though, this morning if you are one of the country's 15 million hay fever sufferers, as we are told a pollen bomb is expected to hit the UK this week. Well, Dr Amir joins me now. It's so miserable, isn't it, Amir? We want the sunshine to come out, we want the weather to be good, and as soon as it does, people suffering from hay fever, it's horrible, isn't it?
Morning, Lorraine. Yeah, lots of us enjoy the sunshine, but for some people it can be miserable because of hay fever. Now, some media outlets are calling the next few days a pollen bomb. I think that's unnecessarily scary. What's actually happening is grass has been allowed to grow. Remember those couple of weeks we had in May where it was sunny? I know it feels like a distant memory now, but the grass was allowed to grow lovely and long. And then just as it was going to release its pollen, the rains came. And I'm sure we can all remember that. So it's delayed its release of pollen. It's expected to release them over the next day or so. And that will mean there's higher than expected levels of pollen around. And that will affect those 15 million people who suffer from hay fever. So I'm sorry about that, but what I would say is start taking your antihistamine now. It's better to get it in your system, of course. Remember, hay fever is when you breathe in those pollen and your body overreacts and creates too much histamine. So those antihistamines will help reduce that. Take it regularly. Don't wait for your symptoms. Take them regularly to prevent the symptoms. You can put some Vaseline along your nostrils as well. That will help stick the pollen there so you're not breathing it in. Remember, when you get in from work or outside, change your clothes, have a shower, get all that pollen off. And if you are outside, wear wraparound sunglasses and hats to prevent pollen sticking to places. If you've got pets, you have to take them for a walk. Make sure they're washed down as well before they come in and allowed to spread pollen through the house. And don't forget, vacuum regularly as well, because that will help suck up the pollen. Keep your windows closed. I know it's not ideal in the summertime, but all of that will reduce your risk of these symptoms really affecting you. And don't forget, antihistamines can come in different forms. If you've got nasal symptoms, you can get nasal sprays. If you've got eye symptoms, you can get eye drops. So don't just rely on the tablets. And if you're really struggling, speak to your doctor about prescribing you something that you might not be able to get over the counter.
Ah, OK, that's worth doing. It really is, Amir. Now, here's the thing. Lots of people planning their holidays for the summer. And for many people, as soon as they get on the plane, they want a drink. It's like the start of your holidays. You know, have some booze. Not a great idea, though, on flights, is it?
It is not really. Nobody likes a drunk person on a plane. And of course, you've got to keep your wits about you in case there is any emergencies. So probably best not to drink too much. But there's a new study that shows actually it could be more dangerous than we actually initially thought. So the combination of alcohol on a flight plus the changes in cabin pressure can affect your oxygen levels. It can drop your oxygen levels, increase your heart rate and make you poorly. Now, that can affect anyone at any age, but it's worse for older people or those with underlying health conditions. So I know it's a British tradition to start the holiday at the airport with a pint, you know, even if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We've all seen those people thinking, God, but maybe just drink responsibly or wait until you're at your destination and start drinking then.
That's maybe the best idea. I would agree. I would agree. Now, look, this is an interesting one. Ways that we can boost our health in just 24 hours. Everybody can do this, yeah?
Everyone can do this. This is a study from University College London. They followed 2,000 adults and looked at sleep and movement and kind of found the ideal things that we should all be doing in 24 hours all through the week. Now, some of them are really specific, so bear with us. So sleep is important. That's the number one thing. And we should be sleeping ideally between 7 hours and 8 hours and 20 minutes. That's really specific. Any more, any less, not quite as good. But sleep is thought to be anti-inflammatory. It's heart healthy. So that's the amount of sleep we should be getting. Now, the second tip is not to sit for too long. So you shouldn't be sitting for more than 6 hours a day. Get up and have a walk around. I try and do that every kind of 3 or 4 patients here. I just walk up and down the room. Good idea to get that circulation going. Now, 3, you may have heard of this, VILPA. Now, VILPA is vigorous intermittent lifestyle physical activity. So that means just doing short bursts of activity that don't involve going to the gym. So it could be running after the kids. It could be running up and down the stairs. But 4 minutes, 0.4 minutes is the ideal amount of time for that. It's very specific. Now, the fourth tip is, I think, walking. You should be walking about just over an hour each day. Really good for you. Okay. Now, the next few are really things to do. So it's all about kind of movement again. Standing for 2.5 hours or more through the day. Running if you can run as well. And then the final one is about climbing stairs. So climb stairs if you can each day. All of these things. Now, what I'm going to say, Lorraine, is yes, we should be incorporating all of these things into our daily routine to keep us healthier, and it will help our heart health and keep us living longer. But when you go for arbitrary targets like this, it's really difficult, and you might just give up and go, well, I can't do that. Anything is better than nothing. So any movement, as much sleep as you can get, is better than nothing. So don't give up because you can't hit those targets. Just do whatever you can.
Yes, build up to it. Build up to it. That's the thing. Now, look, this is really interesting news and groundbreaking when it comes to people who are suffering from poor eyesight. New technology, it's a brilliant thing, isn't it? This is really good news.
I love this story. So we've had the first patient, a 91-year-old chap called Cecil Farley. He's had an artificial corneal transplant. Now, the cornea is the front part of the eye. It protects the eye, but it also targets the light that comes in and sends it over to the retina so we can see. It's a really important part of seeing. But it can get damaged from infections, from scarring, from surgery, and it can affect vision. Now, normally to replace the cornea, sadly, we have to wait for someone to die and donate their corneas. But this is the first artificial corneal transplant. And Cecil has had it. He says his vision is improving already. And my favourite thing he said is that he can now see his wife clearly again. And he's happy about that. That's a good thing for him.
Oh, thank goodness for that, because that could have been embarrassing for everyone concerned. So he's like, he didn't go, he actually went, this is great. Amir, thank you so much for that romp through. Great to talk to you, and really, really good tips there, as always. Thank you.